Backyard Wrestling fans, welcome to another episode of SmackYard Radio, sponsored by the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, the home of some of the great backyard wrestling of today's generation, and sponsored by SportsWire Radio. And we are now live on Spotify. So if you guys want to listen to this podcast a little easier in your life as you're doing your, day-to-day basis stuff, listen to us on Spotify or listen here and watch the video feed here on YouTube. But for today's episode, we got the good guy, CJ Black from ROEW. Oh, what's up, my brother?
Whoa.
How are you doing?
It's so I don't know how to act. Should I just be me? Oh God, I'll be me.
He said, man, you're like Sam Reeves. Fucking like you guys like kayfabe more than the fucking wrestlers in the 80s. Come on.
It's fun.
Wait.
I got so many messages of people or from people like, "Oh, that's not how you really are," but like my personality and sense of humor, it's pretty much like that. Like I bust everyone's balls.
So this is your first like out of character like interview outside of like SportsWire Radio, but like SportsWire, you're in character for that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't necessarily want to be, but yeah, I'm usually in character. Yeah.
So this is like your first out of gimmick interview, and it's on my show. That just proves I'm the GOAT. This proves I'm the GOAT. Acknowledge. Dude, I'm the fucking podcast king. Like, you know how many fucking backyard wrestling podcasts I've had? I'm the fucking king of this shit.
Just don't make me get to that point. We'll be good. I'll just relax.
So
don't make me get to that character.
So I'd like to start off these podcasts by, kind of like taking it way back and really building up to like the whole conversation. So where did CJ Black, or when did CJ Black get into professional wrestling?
Ooh, professional wrestling? Okay, so, I mean, you hear this and it's kind of like cliche, but literally since birth. Like, I know it sounds like, no way, but in the hospital room, my dad was watching Monday Night Raw when I was born.
No fucking
and my
way.
dad, yeah,
No
my dad's a
fucking
big
way.
wrestling fan, yeah. So, my whole life growing up, I watched wrestling throughout the 90s as a kid, and God, I'm old, oh God. But, yeah.
So who were some
then.
of your like inspirations or like your favorites growing up?
So when I was a kid, definitely The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy. That was like my biggest inspiration was Jeff Hardy, because I'd even as a backyard wrestler, I'd start like doing the whole glow in the dark face paint thing and try painting my face like
The real question is, were you Jeff Hardy for Halloween? That's the real question.
I don't think I ever was.
No fucking way, dude.
I don't think I was ever a wrestler for Halloween, honestly.
Dude, like when I used to dress up for Halloween, like literally, it was like John Cena and then Jeff Hardy. They were both on like repeat. One year I'd be one, the other year I'd be the next. And it was just like on repeat.
I remember my brother one year had like one of those Stone Cold outfits for Halloween that they come out with, but I was never lucky enough to have one. It's a shame. Maybe that's why I'm such a dick now. I don't know.
Dude, my parents never bought me fucking WWE merch. Dude, I've never, besides like the little John Cena hat that I bought like a couple years ago, my parents never bought me WWE shirt from like WWE shop. They'd always buy me those fucking like cheap little Walmart fucking.
Well, I mean, the WWE shop shit's expensive. I didn't even buy any of that myself, so
Yeah, dude,
I'm not going to blame them there.
Oh my god, dude, that John Cena retirement fucking tour shirt, dude, it's like almost goddamn $50 for a fucking shirt.
Ooh, pass. No, thank you.
Yeah, to be
Sorry, John, but no, thank you.
So, when did you discover backyard wrestling?
Okay, so I always hear everybody else too talk about like, I watched this, blah blah blah. Back when I started it, with a couple friends from high school or middle school. It might have been middle school. It was middle school. Oh my God, I'm so old, because it was 2006, 2007. We were talking about starting it. Like, it wasn't really that big on YouTube at the time, like it was for all you guys. I know you're all talking about, oh, ESW, CHW, something else too. I forget what it was. Is it KBW? Is that it?
Yeah, KBW, like.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, honestly. But when we started, we were just like, we like wrestling. Hey, let's put it on YouTube. Like, I don't know. And then eventually at some point I saw ESW, but yeah, we liked wrestling. So we're like, let's record ourselves wrestling. And it was horrible. It's still on there. I wish it wasn't, but it is.
I mean, ESW didn't like pop off until like really like 2009-ish. Like, I mean, they started get they like yeah, they started on YouTube in like '08. It's like, damn, you started like right around the same period as ESW, and they're like
I mean,
legends
their
of this
stuff was
shit.
obviously way better than mine, that's for sure. Because they would actually go hard and try. Ours was like, I don't know, little kids thinking they know a damn thing, and I didn't know shit.
So was it
So
always ROEW, or did you guys have like a different name for your company back then?
it started as ROWE, and the name was not my selection at all. It was Royal Oak. That's the city we lived in. Royal Oak Wrestling Entertainment. And then after like a year, my friends like, let's change it to Ring of Extreme Wrestling. We didn't have a ring. We weren't extreme, but that's what it is.
So wait,
That's what it is.
so what's the meaning of it right now? Is it still Ring of Extreme?
Yeah, we just stuck with that. Like when me and Jason came back just to do one match, I was like, let's change the name. He's like, nah, just keep ROEW. I wanted something with 3 letters, but still ROEW.
So you started way back. So like really, so what? So you said 2006?
I mean, it was probably like 2007, like for sure is when we uploaded a video. But I mean, I've always been wrestling with my brother,
Uh-huh.
C Money, you guys know him as, since like he was born in '97, so I want to say 2002 when he was like 5 at least. We would always like fuck around.
So so you guys had a run, right, of ROEW for a couple years starting 2007. So what led to the pause or like the hiatus of
The
ROEW?
demise.
The rise
Um,
and fall of ROEW part 1.
right. So part of the problem back then is it was basically me and my brother, and that was it. So it got boring, and it was like we weren't getting the views. Um, it wasn't like it is now where we can, reach out to everybody, like so many people that, are willing to come here or bring us to them. Um, I don't know. He got to a point where he was like, wrestling's not really my thing anymore. So there went my talent. So I couldn't keep doing it. Sucks.
So damn. So
Wait,
how?
wait, wait. Hold on. Sidebar there. So that was 2015 when we stopped. 2 years later, apparently, something that some of you know, MEBW started up. And that was about 10 minutes away from my house. And if I would have known that, I would have been in business. Man.
So you could have joined MEBW.
Oh, yeah. I was even talking to, what the hell's his name? Matt Thunder the other day. Because I went to a live show in
You
the
had
area.
no idea that they were going off during that whole time.
No, I didn't know it was a thing. I even used to look up like Michigan, backyard wrestling, and nothing would pop up. And I even told him at the indie show the other day, I'm like, dude, if I would have known this was a thing, like, oh, I would have loved it. He's like, oh, we would have hired you. Of course you would have. Of course you would have. All right, stop. There's
So
the character.
so did ROEW start on the ground or on a trampoline? Because I know you guys didn't have a ring until like recently or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So definitely started on the ground. And when we started, we were like barely taking any bumps. It was like, land on your ass and roll type thing. Um,
I did that shit for FBW. Hey, but that's being smart. I mean, you want to fuck up your
it
own
is,
body?
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
because then once I actually did start taking those bumps on the ground like an idiot, like I'm regretting it now, being 31 years old. Like, ow, hello, I can't sleep at night because of the back pain. Um, yeah, we started on the ground. I want to say 2 or 3 years later, I got a trampoline. We did a couple matches on there, but I wasn't feeling it. Just I don't know. So we went back to the ground. It gave us more room to. Because trampoline, you're just confined right there. The ground, you have all this space, all this freedom.
so what was your worst bump on the ground that you've taken?
My worst bump was actually something I received. Like I was just laying there, and then it was the only time I ever really got hurt too. Is my cousin went on one of those like 8 or 10 foot ladders right to the top, frog splash, hit it perfectly on camera. At least it looked like it was perfectly. He didn't hurt my stomach at all. Didn't hurt my ribs at all. His elbow caught the side of my head on the way down, like when he was like,
Ouch.
boom. And that was the only time I ever really got hurt. It was a big ass lump. Like even if you go back and watch it, you see me rolling around selling, but I'm not selling where he frog splashed me. I'm holding my head.
You're like damn concussed.
I might have been. Or there was one time my brother dropped me on my neck on the trampoline, but that's fine.
Dude, hey, man. Trampoline wrestling is no joke, dude. Fucking, I've been dropped on my goddamn head on a trampoline, and like, I've like fucking chronic neck pain because of these fuckers. Like, for me,
Wrestling in general, it needs to be safe. So like
yeah.
everybody be safe.
No, it's like for me, like what fucked up my chronic neck issues is like when I did FBW on the ground, when I took DDTs, I would do like the roll bump, right? So it looked so good, right? I fucking like died taking a DDT each time. So like I would roll into it, right? So like rolling on my fucking neck for goddamn years on the ground, just not lovely, not lovely. And then like on the trampoline, fucking Sam Reeves, Big B, um, fucking Chris Dynamite in a match that will be seen in the future all dropped me on my goddamn fucking neck.
Get safe, guys. Get safe. You're gonna regret it when you're older. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for real. Let's talk about that a little bit. The whole fucking trampoline versus ring, which really wasn't about that. It was just really my message that I mean, I started a whole fucking war during that period, but like my whole message was just trying to basically preach like respect everybody's hustle. Everybody works hard and everybody takes risks no matter where they wrestle. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you to a point because like I used to do trampoline wrestling too. Um, it's definitely safer than landing in a ring. It doesn't hurt as much for sure. So as far as like being smart and protecting yourself, have at it. Um, but as far as like trying to, suspend your disbelief or whatever, it just doesn't work the same for me as like landing on a hard surface. So if I was to do trampoline wrestling, I'd probably put like some plywood over it and little padding so you'd still have the nice bounce, but like you get a good smack still.
I mean,
But
I the beholder. I mean, dude, whiplash fucking sucks. You ever have whiplash? That shit sucks.
oh
That
yeah,
shit
for sure, yeah.
that shit fucking dude, when I got whiplash training for FBW when we first got the tramp, shit man, like fucking I had to go to the doctor. They put me on fucking muscle relaxers, anti-inflammatories. Dude, I'm pretty sure I was concussed too. That was like the most fucking miserable time in my life. That probably was like the worst injury I've ever had in FBW.
See, that's why even on the trampoline, I was still tucking my neck or tucking my chin.
Dude, whiplash is
Always
no
trying to
fucking
bump right
joke.
still. Yeah.
Dude, whiplash is no fucking joke. What is the worst bump if you even like can remember? What's the worst bump that you've taken on a trampoline?
The trampoline, I mean, it was probably getting dropped on my neck, like spiked. My brother's trying to suplex me and then didn't continue and flip me, spiked me on my neck. That was probably that. Um, Other than that, I don't know. I was usually pretty safe on the trampoline. We did one spot where like he kicked my knee and I like face planted on the metal beam, but like I made it look good because I'm the shit. But it didn't hurt though. But probably the spike thing.
Yeah, because I mean, like getting dropped on your fucking neck. I mean, regardless where
Yeah.
it's at, it fucking sucks. Like I've been dropped on my neck fucking one too many times by all these motherfuckers.
Well, see, what people don't realize about the trampoline, if you've never been on one, is like if someone's already stepping on it, it's taking away the bounce, and it makes that so it's hard as fuck,
Yeah,
especially if
dude.
you're landing right next to them.
Yeah, like sometimes this trampolines has no fucking give, especially like when it's cold and like your fucking net is like tight. Dude, yeah, it fucking sucks. Like I remember like when I got whiplash, right, and like fucking half concussed. I came back early because I was like, "Fuck, FBW is restarting back up. It's FBW Resurgence. Got this massive world title match against Big B." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm not fucking waiting. I gotta fucking go. Um, yeah, I remember like in the beginning of the match, I took a clothesline and there was just no give in the trampoline. The trampoline said, "Nah, not today, fam," and I just ate that shit. And like, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, this sucks." People goddamn fucking shit on trampoline shit too much.
It's not always fun. It's not always fun.
So we were just talking about how ROEW, took a hiatus or whatever. So what led to the return of ROEW?
See, that was 2022. Oh God, what a story here. Okay, so back in my first run, like the '07 to 2015 era, we were kind of feuding with an Alabama backyard fed called HCW. What was it Hardcore Championship Wrestling? That's what it was. There was a kid there that I made friends with. His name was Hillbilly Tilly. Some of you know him, some of you don't. That's fine. Um, I still remained in touch with him, and I think the beginning of 2022, me and him were talking. He's like, I kind of talked him into coming up here and just having one last match because last match I had in 2015 was just a highlight video, and I'm like, dude, I can do better than that. I'm gonna have a match. So I talked Hillbilly Tilly into coming up here. He was down. Midway through the year, he started ghosting me. I'm like, son of a bitch, this ain't happening. And then I met Jason at work. He found out that I like wrestling and I used to do this crap. And I kind of worked him into, having a match. So that's when we decided to do some promos, showing some people at work. Then we had the match. So I built the little blue base we used to have. Kind of miss it.
So wait, so the return of RBW, was it like when you started it, was it always going to be like we were going to go do like full-time return, or was this going to be like, oh, we'll come back for like a one-off program and that was it?
In my head, I just wanted one more match. And then we started getting some feedback from people. Got a couple comments from like Captain Law. Maybe we could talk about him later. Um, Jack Delta commented, and they were like kind of, letting us know it was good, and they also wanted to come here. So I was like, oh, maybe we should keep it going then. 'Cause Jason had a friend too that wanted to wrestle, so we're like, all right, well, let's see what we can do. And then, come to find out, Jack Delta lived 5 minutes away from me, so I was like, well, alrighty then, perfect. And then, I don't know, what was it, like a year later? 6 months later, we're all like, you know what? Screw it. Let's get a ring. Pricey. Pricey as hell, but worth it.
So what was the platform made out of?
So back in the day as well, like towards the end of, I think it was like 2014, I built this little base that had a box spring in the middle, and then tires around it, plywood on top, and then some carpet padding or some shit. So I was like, for this last match with me and Jason, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna make it bigger. It was 12 by 12, uh, box spring tires, plywood, and it pretty much, now that I have a ring, it was pretty close to feeling like a ring does. It had the right amount of give, hurt a little less than the ring does. Now I'm not gonna lie, the ring, whew, it's no joke. It's no joke.
Scale 1 to 10, how bad was your first bump in a real ring?
Well, since I was already like knowing what to expect from my base that I made, I want to say 10 being the worst pain. 7?
7. 7 out of
Yeah,
10. That is wild.
yeah.
I've never been in a ring, so I mean, I always hear these horror stories of like, oh man, bumping in a ring sucks. Like it's like fucking debilitating.
It depends on where you bump, if you know how to bump, and if you're already in pain, honestly, because some people are still learning how to bump that wrestle with us, so they get hurt pretty frequently. It's like you gotta learn how to safely do it because their pain it's probably a 10 out of 10. But
So,
I don't know. When I go out there and I warm up, I do like a quick little flat back bump, do a flip bump, I do like a choke slam style bump, just like all to myself, just to warm up. I'm used to it now. Like I don't know. Like I could go out there and do it now, I'd be fine, but it gets to you.
so REW takes a hiatus. It comes back. So like during this period, like was there any you know thoughts or like attempts to go pro or?
Well, that was also another reason why I think that was like 2013. Was I 20? Oh my god. I was 20 at the time. And that was my goal my whole life. I wanted to be a pro wrestler. It's all I ever wanted. Never really paid attention in school, which screwed me now. But yeah, that's all I ever wanted. So 2013 came around. There's a wrestling school like 2 miles away from me, like currently too. Um, yeah, that was the plan. So I was like, all right, this is my last match in the backyard. And then for whatever reason, I just couldn't save up the money because it's like 2 grand to put it down. It's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. A
Yeah,
year
to be
later, I ended
honest.
up, yeah, a year later, I ended up breaking my ankle. I got a plate and 7 screws in there still, so that set me back. And then at some point, it's like I just got caught up with life and never made it happen. Not
So
only that, but like, go ahead, go ahead.
wait, so you couldn't make it happen. So what was the idea of just you're just gonna fucking? Because like I mean like let's be honest, like you have the ring, you know how to bump, you know how to work. You honestly pretty fucking good for like backyard underground wrestler or whatever. So
Untrained.
yeah, so like just now with like where you're at with RWW, you feel content, or like why not put the money down to be pro?
I mean, yeah, at this point, like I've had a lot of people ask me that too, but it's like it's still the same $2,000, still a lot of money today, like it was back then. Now I got a family, got a house to worry about. I don't feel comfortable taking that chance because it's not even guaranteed that I'm going to go anywhere with the wrestling. You know, still got to play
Yeah,
politics and kick
yeah,
ass
and
or
like to
kiss
be
ass,
honest,
not kick ass.
but like not on top of that, like that's just $2,000 to start. Then it
Yeah.
becomes another 2,000, like to continue, because like you gotta keep paying until they fucking graduate you.
Well, the fee I think is just the one time like class $2,000 fee, but then you still got to worry about traveling expenses and all
Because
that
like
crap
for like
too.
for me, my local school, it's like a monthly thing. Like you pay the down payment and then you pay monthly until they feel like, oh, okay, you're good enough, you can graduate, and then that's it. But
It's kind of the same here, I guess, but like if you were to do that option, I think it's like 1,400 down and then paying monthly until you get to like two
but
thousand
like
something.
but like my local school, like the dude who used to be in charge when I wanted to go pro, because my original plan was to go after high school. That dude was known to like basically like keep you in the system and like purposely not graduate you just so he can like milk your money
Just like a doctor.
and shit.
Man,
Like you talked about, $2,000 is a lot of money, especially like when you have kids. You have all these responsibilities. Like you know, I can't keep putting that money down monthly. Like I got shit to do.
it's a risk. But yeah, as far as that though, like I'm pretty content with ROEW. It gives me more freedom, creativity. Um, Plus I kind of get a little ego boost when like pros do either know who I am or like compliment me because it's like, yeah, that's right. I'm not even trained, and you guys are complimenting me. Thank you, thank you.
So yeah,
So
so
yeah,
you're not trained at all. You never took a single training session, unpaid or paid, by any pro.
I mean, I've watched, wrestling my whole life. I've watched YouTube videos of, tutorials back, same as you, like after high school, I was supposed to, go to wrestling school. When I was in high school, my mom bought me these like homeschool DVDs from a Georgia school. I think it was WWA 4. So I watched those when I was like 16. But yeah, I've never been to like a wrestling school. Um, just trying to do it like the pros, watching how they do it, breaking it down. Like I'll screen record certain moves and I'll like go in slow motion to see every single thing they do to
That
keep it
yeah,
safe and make it look like them. So yeah.
yeah, that's what I did. Like when I started FBW with Chris Dynamite, that's literally what we did. We literally for like hours on end, like the day we did FBW, we got together around like noon, and then all the way up until like 4 o'clock for like hours, man. We fucking on loop just watched how to wrestle videos, and then we were like, okay, fuck it, time to go out there and start FBW. Like that's how we
Yeah.
did it.
You guys watch Santino Bros, I'm guessing.
No, it was, oh shit, man. It's the guys with the it's two guys with the all I know is they're outside and they have like the blue mat.
Oh, I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah,
They got a
that's
ring in
the
their backyard or some shit.
yeah, and they have like the blue mat and it's like really old
Mhm.
quality, like fucking
I've
that
watched
that's
some of those, yeah.
that's what
I like
me
the
and
newer stuff. Honestly, I recommend everybody check these out, and I always send them to everybody. Santino Bros is really good. They got a lot of how-to videos. Um, that's run by what's his name, Joey Chaos. He used to do XPW back in the day when like that was a thing. But my favorites are Tyson Dukes because he's like really good with chain wrestling, and he likes over-explaining, and I'm into that because I want to know the whys behind things. Damian Slater, who is an Australian guy, runs his own school. He's also in the WWE Cruiserweight Classic.
yep. Okay, yep. I know who you're talking about.
Yep. And then I had him actually review me versus Jack Delta. Got a little compliment from him, so that meant a lot. He definitely broke it down as a pro would, though, like things we did wrong, and there was a lot. But I've been putting that into play too with my new matches, and yeah. But his compliment, yeah, that meant a lot though, because it was like, what do you say? Like, oh, the fundamentals are there. Like, are you sure you never had any training? Like, nope. But thank you.
So you come back with RWW and you forge this whole good guy gimmick. So what was the story behind, this whole good guy character? Because like I mean that really got you like well known in the community, like this run
Yeah.
of RWW.
So there's like a couple different reasons. Before we even built that little blue base, like me and Jason were hanging out in the garage and we're watching the other guys. I don't know if you ever seen that. It was with Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell.
Yep.
And one part of the movie, the guy they were trying to bring into jail, they had him in custody, and who else was there? There's like some team that was trying to get the guy back, and then they kidnapped him, and he's like, "No, they're the good guys." So I started with that. I was like, "No, I'm the good guy." Like when I was like being a dick, like calm down, I'm the good guy. And then I also had this other friend that was kind of like being an asshole too, and I was like, "It's fine because I'm the good guy." So it's just like I don't know, just all that together is just funny to me. So
So what was your first impressions of the backyard wrestling community? Because like I'm obviously like back in the day when you first started ROW, there was no like Instagram, there was no fucking, you know,
right.
and like
I
the
mean,
whole
back
backyard
then. Oh
wrestling.
yeah, let me get to that story. So like I said, we just posted videos. Um, I think it was like 2010. The YouTube was a little different back then, but had like certain videos that would pop up, not like up next, but just like recommended or something like that. But it was ESW that popped up on one of my videos, and it was their farewell thing. It was like it was supposed to be their farewell at the time. It was when who the hell was it? Wicked J and Alex G? Yeah. They were like the last match. So I watched it. I was like, holy shit, like these guys are really fucking good. And they're putting us to shame, bro. So that was the first time I saw ESW was that video. Back then though, there was also 2KW. You ever seen them? They were
2KW.
like, yeah,
Let
they're
me look it
wrestling
up.
in like a New York park, I think,
Yeah, okay, yep. I
on the
think I remember.
playground.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were really good. So I was like, what am I doing backyard wrestling when these guys are like so much better than me? Matt DeMorist, I'm sure you've heard of him.
Legend.
I
Legend.
saw him. I stumbled upon him at some point. So there was some good people still. Like the collaboration wasn't as much as there is now, which
Oh
is
yeah,
great.
for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, once like I said, we posted our first match though. Delta Captain Law commented. So then I was like, well, where the hell's this community at? So I made an Instagram and I was like, okay, there's a lot of
And this is
people
like the
here.
first time you're hearing guys like Jack Delta, Captain Law.
Yeah, I had no idea who the hell they were. I searched Jack Delta on YouTube and like ESW popped up. I'm like, oh shit, like that's crazy. I was like, this dude wants to come all the way here, and like I said, 5 minutes away. I was like, that works great.
I mean, shit, the backyard wrestling
Mhm.
community. I mean, it's no secret. It's a very controversial place.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I made the Instagram and then started following a whole bunch of people. Had no idea who they were. They had no idea who I was, and then the rest is history. Here we are. Some people know me, some people don't. I guess I don't know.
I mean, after ROW, formed back up, not long after that, uh, you stumbled upon the backyard wrestling nexus and had a little cup of coffee in the backyard wrestling nexus.
Little cup of coffee.
Yeah,
So
I can't remember who stumbled upon who, because like obviously like time to time I put out olive branches to like companies out there, like, hey, I have this network if you guys need anything. You remember your little journey into the backyard wrestling nexus?
not like 100%, but I remember when I first started my Instagram. I don't want to say his name. Okay, fuck it. Jared Black. I'm sure you remember him. Right? Yeah. Okay, so he randomly messages me like, "Hey, want to join Infinity?" I'm just thinking to myself like, "One, who are you? Two, what the fuck is Infinity?" And then he's explaining it to me and I was like, "You know what? I want more eyes on our stuff. Nobody knows who we are right now. Screw it." So I joined his little thing. He ended up hating us, and then I think like you were their enemy or something.
No,
Does that
okay,
sound
so,
about right?
so okay. Let me explain my side.
Yeah, what's your side?
Yeah, okay, no, so I haven't really gotten into this publicly, but like, okay, so obviously, like in 2021, right, in the beginning of 2021, I formed the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, right? Because like during this time in 2021, 2020, like in 2020, like the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, or not the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, the Backyard Wrestling community kind of hit like an all time low. There was like I know like that year we had Captain Law and like Gunshot really going at it personal, and like there's just like a shit ton of stupid drama. And like during this time, like I was about to have my son, and like kind of realized like, hey, like going pro, like I don't think it's gonna happen because like money and like like shit we were talking about earlier. So I was like, man, like I don't really want to give up this wrestling shit because like wrestling's my life. So like I was like, okay, so like if backyard wrestling is like my kind of like destination for wrestling, like backyard wrestling can be so much. Like I'm pretty sure like you caught drift of like the whole like 2000s era of like backyard wrestling. Backyard wrestling was like the shit. Like it was
Yeah.
like mainstream, had their own fucking video game published and shit. Like backyard wrestling, like there is a ceiling of what we can do and accomplish, but like now we're nowhere near that ceiling, and like it can be so much more. So I was like, okay, like what can I do to better this community, better people's time in this community? Because there's some people passionate about backyard wrestling. So I created the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, and we've had guys from the whole fucking pedophilia, area, pre-pedophilia acknowledgement days. Like UWA, they launched on the hype and on the platform of the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. Like we launched their reveal on the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. So like I was just gathering all these places and stuff, but what happened was I believe so UWA left because I remember so like it was around their first like I guess like Royal Rumble, whatever the fuck they called the Royal Rumble event. It was their
Well, that
first.
was the Tennessee Jamboree.
Yes, yeah,
That's what
the
that.
Jamboree. And I remember I was watching it and it sucked. Like no offense, it sucked. And now okay, I'm not no fucking pro, I'm not no extra, but I mean to the casual eye, it fucking sucked. It really did. Um
I'm sorry. It did, guys. I'm sorry. It was an hour long. It shouldn't have been. Yeah, go on.
so I texted Jake Howell, and I was like, yo man, just some advice. Like, one, too many fucking comedy characters filled that rumble. I was like, you had some okay, wrestlers like who had actual gimmicks, actual like legacies. Like I know like was like Aaron Blaze was in that rumble. I think it was like Kurt Adams and like shit like that. So I was like, too many comedy characters, and I was like, I told him, I said, yo man, like the work rate was complete garbage. Like you guys are in a ring and like you're wrestling like you're on the ground. Like you're not wrestling like you're in a ring. I was like, the work rate was kind of bad. And I was like, hey man, just work on this shit. Maybe next time don't have too many comedy characters. Howell, he didn't like that. So he left the Nexus and he fucking blocked me out. Um, and then I
He doesn't
remember,
like criticism, from what I gather, but yeah.
so we ended up doing business with some of the TBW guys. Not like officially with TBW, just some of their members wanted to like rep. Like I remember like Atomic Titan joined. Um, but I remember Titan when Atomic Titan was in the Nexus, somebody was in the Nexus that Titan just didn't like. And because Titan had issues with him, Titan was like, I want him removed. I don't remember who it was. It may have been like Xavier Thorne or some other fucking idiot who's no longer in the Nexus. But anyway, so I was like, hey man, like I kind of like I respect your feelings, but like that's not what the Nexus is about. We're not playing petty bullshit. Like just because they have issues with you doesn't mean they can't be a part of the Nexus and receive Nexus help. You guys can stay on two corners of the room, but we're not getting involved like that. That's not what the Nexus is about. Titan,
We'll explore more on that in a minute. Keep going.
Titan didn't like that, so he left. And then all of a sudden, Infinity born, and so Infinity was born in spite and to take a shot at the BYWN. Clearly, the writing was on the wall. If you were there behind the scenes, and let's be honest, those guys were not thinking about Infinity until the Nexus was born and was doing their thing. And guess what? Infinity lived up to be nothing. So there was really no jabs or like no issues on my like I didn't publicly go out there and like bash. Like I know like BYWN Unity, like that whole logo had the Infinity. That was just like a coincidence, like for real. There's like now like I don't even think Infinity is still a thing. Like now, like I'm pretty sure they're disbanded. But
I don't think so. I think everybody wrote off Jared for
yeah.
whatever reason.
So now continue on your thoughts about the Backyard Wrestling Nexus.
Okay. Well, it was kind of playing off of what you were saying too, where like you didn't want to boot him out. But, like, I mean, we can be open and talk about the drama, but you booted us out. So what was the
Yeah.
reasoning for that?
Oh yeah. Okay. So um, you can acknowledge this. Uh, when you guys were in the Nexus, you guys did the whole like reviewing like the people's matches or whatever.
Well, just me. But yeah,
Yeah, so you were going around reviewing people's matches, and I mean, shit, you gave me some, advice that I still carry. I mean, like, we talk a lot. You've given me advice, but like, I remember I sent you one of my matches during that time, and you gave me good advice. But I guess you rubbed some people the wrong way. I don't remember who. Yeah, I really don't remember who. But it
some
was
people that
people.
don't like criticism.
Yeah, it was people on the board. Which I mean, since then, like, I did a whole like fucking like revision of like the board and like the Nexus powers of whatever. But yeah, no. So when it comes to like kicking people from the Nexus, I try to get like because I have a board of directors shit. Because like I want people more like with like more minds. Because like this is like a big community that has a pretty big goal. So yeah, no, I guess you rubbed some people the wrong way, and the board just voted you out. Just because like I mean like coming off like first glance, like until people like know you. I mean, you can rub some people the wrong way because like you kayfabed a lot, but
Yeah.
some people are sensitive.
See, when I was doing these reviews, though, it was to try to help people, and they were the ones reaching out to me for the reviews and criticism, things they can improve on. So the fact that they couldn't take it, it's like, then why are you even reaching out? And then after we got kicked out, it's like, all right, this is the second group we got kicked out of for just because, like I said, like the whole character work thing, it's pretty much just me and my personality and busting balls. It's not like I'm like a dick 24/7, but I can be, I guess.
No, I
So
mean
when
like
we got
I mean like you and me, we talk and like we have chill conversations about shit. Like hell, like before this, we were fucking having like a whole goddamn podcast off air, just shooting this shit.
yeah, I hated it. But see, that's just me joking. Like, it's fine. You're not crying, right? You're not crying.
Yeah, no,
It's
I do admit that there are some sensitive people in this backyard wrestling community. They are. Like I remember lovely, lovely Tennessee backyard wrestling. I remember this was a couple years ago. I was just shooting the shit and I just commented like a thumbs down on one of their posts. Just a lovely thumbs down, just shooting the
you
shit in,
fucked up.
in, in gimmick. Yeah, no, they fucking Fat Asian, Ledger, and their fucking general manager, the gay dude. No offense, not trying to get canceled, but whatever his name is, um uh
I also forget.
yeah, like they all came started fucking shooting like for real, like for real, like not like gimmick work, like they were legit trying to tear me down and shit. And then they all fucking mass reported my account and got my account suspended for like a week.
Damn.
Yep, like come on, sensitive ass motherfuckers in this community.
Yeah.
But
Oh, but
hey,
anyways, last thought about that real quick. Yeah, so that was the second group we got kicked out of. So it was like, you know what, dude? We don't really need anybody else anyways at this point. We'll just do it ourselves. It's fine. Like, no hard feelings to anyone else. We're just gonna do us. So we did.
no, and I mean the backyard wrestling nexus. I mean it's not for everybody. Some people want to do their own things, but like like the backyard wrestling nexus. Like I mean, like we're still open for like one-off collabs, and like even if you don't want to be officially under the banner, we still offer help to everybody. Like you don't know when this podcast is gonna air, but whenever it does air, you were inducted into the backyard wrestling nexus Hall of Fame. How do you feel about that?
I feel all right. First of all, like me joking, I'll always be like, "Psh, whatever. But it is nice to be recognized and like for people to think highly of you. So it is nice. It is nice. Just like Tom with his Hall of Fame. It's nice. It's nice to have some recognition and know that like what you're doing at least means something to someone. So it's cool.
No, because like when I say you guys are some of the best workers like in backyard wrestling for like a backyard wrestler, like I mean it's true. I mean you guys really almost work like you're a pro. I mean I try to do my best in FBW. Like I still use some of the advice you've told me over all of our conversations.
I mean, that's definitely the goal. Even when me and Jason had our first match, I was like, dude, listen, backyard wrestling usually, like, everybody does things the wrong way, which some people are fine with that. I'm not. I want to do it like the pros do it. So I'm like, let's work the left side, make sure you sell, um, focus on the heat. So even in that very first match, like it's not terrible, but like there's still so many things we did wrong. So as we keep having more and more matches, even now, like I don't think I'm anywhere close to perfect for
Oh
sure.
no, and
Like I'm
I mention this all the time. Like wrestling is something you never stop learning. You're always learning. You can never perfect wrestling because there's always something to better or there's something to learn.
unless you're Shawn Michaels, but
One
I'm
thing
not
that
there
I
yet.
one thing that I have a problem with is working the left side. I'm not gonna lie that because like I'm a right-handed dominant
Yeah,
person.
yeah, it was a problem for me too, but like it's
But
something I
hey,
needed to
think
beat in
about
the
it.
head.
The Mexicans, they work the right side. My
Yeah,
family's Hispanic, so that's my leeway. So that's all I gotta say about that.
I mean that makes sense for you, but no, I can't do that here. I can't do it.
You
I got to
remember
do
the
the
you
left
remember
side.
the match that you reviewed for me?
I don't.
You really don't.
Was it?
It was me versus Chris from Showdown 2022.
I don't remember. I see. I watched like too many things.
Now
Like I had so many.
you actually complimented my my in ring or I guess my on ground psychology.
I think I remember that.
He said
You got
I
to remember when I was doing that. What was it? Backyard wrestling. I think Spotlight. I had so many people that I don't even think you probably know message me too, and they're like, review this, and I was like, I don't know who these kids are, but here you go. And there were some really bad things, and there was some good stuff.
yeah, and
There
then you
was actually
stopped.
another
You stopped.
trampoline fed that was
So why
good.
did you stop reviewing? Was it just because people were getting too sensitive?
Definitely that, and also it was just like too much. Like, why am I wasting my time
Cause shit, you're a
reviewing
fucking
backyard
father. You got
wrestling?
shit to do outside of this.
Yeah, like I would come home from work and I'm sitting here watching backyard wrestling. It's like, dude, this is horrible. Like, there's some stuff I can watch, but like, there were so many things that were so bad. I found actually one trampoline fed. I don't remember what they are now. I'd have to go back and look at the reviews, but like they were actually really fucking good. And like they were taking bumps like a pro would on their trampoline, doing the moves right. And I was like, okay, these kids fucking got it.
So what is your thoughts
Just
about the
on the trampoline.
whole backyard slash underground terminology?
It's still backyard wrestling. We're still untrained. Underground just sounds fancy, and I don't know. I guess if you're trying to draw in viewers, maybe underground sounds more like pleasing than backyard wrestling. It's like, ugh. Oh, underground. Let me have a look at this. I don't know. So we're rolling with it now too. Screw it.
Yeah,
We're
because I
still
know.
backyard wrestlers.
Yeah, because I know that that's a whole new movement that they're trying to push now. With certain agendas is like underground. I mean, I kind of feel like it's a good thing, like kind of keep the whole trampoline slash ground people separate from like the people in rings. Because like, I mean, shit, man, that some of these people who are in a ring, they try to tear down people on trampolines, on people are on the ground. Because like like we brought up earlier, is like we had that whole fucking beef going around trampoline versus like ring, which it wasn't even about that. It was about respecting people's hustle, just common fucking decency, common courtesy.
Well, there was a couple people I remember commenting on that. I don't remember exactly what their names were, but they were definitely upset because I don't know. They feel like because they're in a ring and it hurts more than a trampoline. Like, why aren't we getting recognition? But then I'm sitting there thinking about it, like, dude, you're acting like a pro would be acting towards backyard wrestlers. Like, none of us are training. You guys are being dicks.
Yeah,
Just
and
relax.
it wasn't even about like what's worse. It was just respect everybody's story, respect everybody's hustle, and just let people have fun. Why? Like if like you said, you don't like what do you call it? Oh fuck, I cannot speak. Just fucking
Suspending my disbelief.
yeah. Thank you, brother. Um,
It's a
y-
mouthful, I know.
yeah, like fucking. This is why, goddamn, I went through like 12 different podcasts because I keep fucking up. But no, like
You're like, delete the whole channel. Screw it.
yeah, but like fucking yeah, it's like eye of the beholder. You may not like this version of wrestling. You may not like that version of wrestling. But like, why come here and then shit on everybody's parade? Just leave us alone. So like the whole
Also,
underground.
something they forgot is they should have just paid attention. This is one man's opinion. That's all he was doing. He's
Yeah,
ranking people based on
dude.
what he likes. Whatever.
Dude, and like, my comment was so like generic based. Like it was just like, hey man, like you don't know what these people are going through. Just respect everybody's hustle. We all work hard regardless of where we're at. And then they were like, "Oh, you fucking trampoline guy, oh, fucking rings are worse." And like, this is like, okay, brother, I see you now. And then after that, like during the whole period, you fucking posted the whole fucking you jumping around on a trampoline.
Dude, that's fun. That's fun for me. I love doing like jokes like that. Like just getting in and stirring up the pot a little bit. It's fun.
You know,
I don't
it's
want to do it
so,
now.
dude, yo, live session on the trampoline. Yo, so it's so easy to get hate in backyard wrestling. And I think you know where I'm going with this. So
Ooh,
he said,
let me get a drink for this.
so one of the main feds that I guess behind the scenes, I guess we'll expose him now, who had a problem with you is, do you want to mention him or you want me to mention him?
All right, go ahead. I don't know where you're going with this. This is crazy. What?
He
First time
said,
hearing of it.
so XCW, so they have been known to like to shit on REW. I remember hearing from my past former inside sources that they thought you were a cancer to this community. What is your thoughts
Yeah, I
about?
remember
What
hearing
was
that.
your thoughts about that?
I think we were lumped in with Tom, IMF, probably some others. I don't know. So Fletch has kind of had it out. Fletch is, for anybody who doesn't know,
The dude who let
runs.
his 9-year-old son wrestle a pedophile.
Yeah, oh, we can get to that too. That's a whole nother situation there. I'm just going to speak on why he hates me, and also my side of the story. So, was this last summer? I think it was last summer. He was supposed to come up here. He wanted to wrestle me. We never talked at all, never introduced himself. I only knew he wanted to wrestle me because I heard from Jason, who heard from Captain Law, that he wanted to come up here and wrestle me. So I'm like, all right, well, it's kind of weird. I haven't, even talked to the dude at all. Like, but all right. So when we film and do shit, it's usually Saturdays because it's like beneficial for everybody else's schedule to show up Saturdays.
Yeah.
Captain Law also knew that. He's been here, I think, 2 or 3 times. It was always a Saturday. And he was in our chat, always knew it was a Saturday. So he was trying to plan a date where him, Fletch, I think a couple other people were going to come here. Um, Listed the date. It's partially on us too. We didn't look at what the date would be. We assumed it was Saturday. Apparently, it was a Sunday. So the time rolls around. I think it was like the week of, and we got JX here on that Saturday. Um, I'm sick at the time too. Like I either got the flu or something. I don't know, but I tried my best to go out there and do like a six. I think or it was a tag match. And I was still sick. I was trying my best not to fucking throw up. And I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm wrestling tomorrow too, because they were already pissed. They're like, no, we told you it was Sunday. You knew this whole time. And I'm just like, dude, I'm trying. Saturday I wrestled. If I wrestle tomorrow, like, no offense, and this is where hygiene comes into play. Some people have a little bit of swamp ass that's just like unbearable. I can't deal with it. So the fact that I would have to wrestle sick and try to hold back vomit from smelling swamp ass filling my garage, I was like, bro, like I'm good. I can only assume some other people in XCW might smell like that. I've heard rumors, I don't know. But I'm like, yeah, I'm good on that. We'll just do it some other time so they didn't come out. Cool. Half a year later, I think, this time Fletch got in touch with me. So I was like, okay, cool. To come out here. At the time I was champion. He was gonna come out here. And I was like, I don't really care if I win or lose. Um, and then we left it at that for like a month. It was like a week before he's supposed to come out here this time. I was like, so what do you want to do in this match? And I had a couple people, I think it was Delta and Jason, telling me like, bro, you're champion. Do not let Fletch go over. Like, it's going to make you look like shit. Plus, we were trying to build towards something. It was the time frame when Jacob beat me for the title.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I wanted it to be meaningful that, I've been beating all these other people and then Jacob beats me. Like, it was all all part of a story I was telling. So I was letting him know, like, listen, I might have to win this, blah, blah, blah. He tries pitching some different ideas where he can still win. And the whole reason I didn't care at first, where like if he could win, I didn't care because it's like he's traveling to us. Fuck it, like it's wrestling. But yeah, they told me basically, like be smart about this. So I was. I let them know. I was like, when you get here, I want to kind of go over some things, like for safety reasons and to make sure it looks good. Because watching him in the ring, like it doesn't always look that good. I watched a couple of his matches, and it's like,
This is probably
the
gonna
fuck
get
is
hate or
this?
probably get the fucking bots of XCW over here. But like
Oh
for
yeah,
me, I've never really like watched XCW. I tried to a little bit when like I was friends with ATK before ATK was like, I'm gonna go choose the pedophilia supporters over like actual friendships. Um, it just looks like it's just a whole company full of like fat pro wrestler like wannabe rejects.
yeah. I mean, they've had some good guys there, like not like me, good guys. Oh, we'll get to that in a second too. Um, like Justin Parsley, he made his way out of there, thankfully. Good guy right there. Um, oh yeah, so back to the story. So it was the week before, and I was messaging him, and we're talking about like things we could possibly do in a match, and he's like, "Oh, we'll just what are we saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to go over things because that's the way I do it. Because we're all untrained backyard wrestlers, so it's like I want to keep it safe, make it look good." And he's like, "I did 6 years into indies, bro," and it's like, okay, first of all, nobody believes that. Um, you're fucking shit. You are horrible. Okay, there's so many clips of you doing just
Yep.
hilarious fuck ups.
And I
But
think
yeah, it's like,
your brother C Money or whatever, he posted a couple of those shits like during the whole shitstorm.
yeah. See, I didn't want that to happen to me. Yeah, his thing apparently is I wasn't willing to work with them, is what he said, I believe.
Hmm.
And it's like that was me trying to work with you. Like I want us to, steal the show. I want us to be safe. And you're like, oh, we'll call it in the ring and we'll just feel the room. And it's like, I don't give a shit what the three people on my futon care about our match. This is for YouTube. I care about what the YouTube audience wants. So like I want us to have a good match, not feel the room. Um so that was part of the problem there. And then he like called me out for having an ego. And then like he's like, oh well, let me know when you're willing to lose in your story. And it's like, all right, well, fuck this guy, dude. Like you're not even worth my time anyways. So thankfully that didn't happen. He didn't come here. He hated me ever since. Captain Law made up some shit too. Um, that he heard from Fletch, I guess. Like, oh, I'm not willing to work with Fletch. I'm a dick to Jacob Collins, and it's like, bro, we all bust each other's balls. That's what it is. We're boys. We're
Yeah.
in a chat. We give each other shit. So he, tried making me look bad. So yeah, fuck Fletch, fuck XCW, fuck Captain Law's little bitch ass, and I don't know. And what's funny too is Ref Festus said I was like the biggest asshole he's ever met. When they were here, I let them, they stayed here for free. I brought them out pizza rolls. I wasted my whole bag of pizza rolls for them,
Wait, hold on,
cooked
hold
them
on,
and brought
hold
them
on, hold on.
out.
Important question time. What's the best flavor of pizza rolls?
I just got pepperoni.
All right, you passed,
It's
dude.
not
Pepperoni
picky.
is the best. Honestly, pepperoni is the only flavor of pizza rolls, dude. I
I
eat
don't even
pizza rolls
really
all
eat
the
them, but
time,
my kid does. But
bro. Come on, you don't eat pizza rolls,
not really.
dude. My
It's not the
kids
same.
love pizza rolls. I love
Pizza.
pizza rolls. Come on,
I could tell you what. After this, I'll go heat up some pizza rolls. I'll send you a picture. I'll be like, "See, you inspired me." But yeah, just I don't know. Just the whole XCW shit is like, fuck them. I'm so glad that no one really talks to them anymore. They're just so useless.
you know,
Which brings us to your next point.
nice leeway into it. But no, like one of the things about like bringing up like XCW that has kind of like annoyed me is like the whole situation because like okay like breaking the fourth wall, this is what this podcast is about. Everybody knows I'm a father, you're a father. Shocker, people know, don't know, well they know you're a father too. I'm a father.
I've had sex.
And like and one of the things that has annoyed me about this is like the whole situation with like the pedophiles in backyard wrestling. All that shit has died down. Like nobody talks like about it or whatever. You know, what was your initial reaction to like knowing that like cuz shit dude, you almost worked and had these people over and possibly almost went up there. You almost did business with these pedophilia fucking supporters, man.
Yeah, so obviously at the time I had no idea about that. But yeah, I was not gonna go there anyways. I hate traveling. I might only travel like once, maybe twice. I don't know. But at the time, yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Um, I'm just so glad that we didn't associate with them. Um, I mean, same with. I hate to say it because like I was so cool with a couple of guys from TBW. It's like now I can't even talk to them because it's like I don't want to associate with that. You guys had somebody on your show and knew. Some of you
Multiples.
claim you didn't know,
Oh
but it's
no.
like
See, and
so
that's the thing.
weird.
Like they all knew. They all swept it under the rug,
It's fucked.
and it's so wild
Like
to
first,
think.
if we listen, hold on. If we had somebody here that was doing that, and I look up everybody even before they come here now, but if we had somebody here that was like that, we would shoot on them in the ring. You know, it'd be a good video, and they'd get the fuck out of here and not come back. It's that simple. You guys have no morals. It's sick,
Dude.
especially if you're a grown ass man letting your 9-year-old son wrestle a convicted pedophile.
Yeah, like how? Okay, first of all, how do you not know? How did he not know that? He knew. And another thing, why are you letting your 9-year-old fucking son wrestle some fucking like 30-year-old dude? That's just weird. Even if he wasn't a pedophile.
Exactly. It's so cringe. Like, why would you do that as a father? What kind of father are you? You're a piece of shit, is what you are.
Honestly, and the fact that like the community now just like letting him be. Yeah, fuck
I don't know.
XCW. Fuck, dude. Fucking and like shit. Like just imagine like fucking. We have kids. Like we have kids, right? And it's so sickening knowing that like anybody in this community that we want to do business with could be putting our kids in danger. Because like obviously like we film this shit at our homes. Like I fucking have the FBW arena literally on the other side of my kid's playground.
It's so weird. Why are all the viewers, not all, but a lot of the viewers also like weirdos? Like, you can go look at some of the comments. It's like, oh, hot boy, take your shirt off. Oh, so strong, hot boy. What are you doing? Go
See,
watch something else.
this is gonna be another
God,
controversial take that you can react to. That's why I don't believe in like star power in backyard wrestling. Because not only are we like an underground niche, like none of us are famous. Let's be honest. That's another reason why I don't believe in star power. Because majority of our views is like diluted by fucking weirdos who just want to fucking binge watch our shit to like jack off to us. Like Tom,
oh,
what?
it's so
What's
weird.
his
Oh
name? Tom
God.
Cafone.
See, I think that was before I started because I remember hearing about this guy. I think Delta even told me about him, and I think he was talking to someone else too. Like, who is this fucking guy? Is it some guy that used to comment or something?
So Tom Cafone is like I guess like this generations of like he's like the backyard wrestling like pedophile basically. He's some old fucking dude who's like who loves like teenage men. And he comments on like all of our like if you ask any like company, they they've had like Tom Cafone, he's commented on FBW shit, like YBW shit, like ETW shit, like he's made his rounds and like he comments weird shit and then like I remember like my first time discovering Tom, you know, it was maybe like 2016ish, 2017, and I remember clicking on his profile and like his fucking banner or whatever was just the fuck his like dude his fucking dick just straight up there like and then
Literally?
like and then like his profile was just filled with fucking like pictures of like young men like
Oh
half
my
fucking naked
God. See,
and
that's so sick. It's like, no offense to everyone that's out there busting their ass. Like, we're all doing this because we love wrestling, and it's so weird because you can see some people's subscriber counts are like really fucking high, and it's some of you not kids, but like, you look young and you're shirtless and you go look at some of your audience and it's like, does that not make you cringe a little bit? I don't know.
and then
It's
people just
weird.
see the views and they're like I'm famous, I'm a fucking god.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Maybe I'll lose weight and shave my beard. I don't know.
I
We'll
mean, I don't
see.
know. Is being fucking eyed down by fucking pedophiles and weirdos? Is it worth? Is it worth the if? Is it worth the views?
I don't think so.
I mean, we're not gonna name names, but I think we know what we're talking about.
There's quite a few companies out there. It's a shame because, like I said, like we're all doing this because we love wrestling. It's a hobby. It's something that either, you want to do for a living at some point, or maybe you're just enjoying yourself now. But the viewership's like watered down. Like it's not real views. There's some people that actually enjoy it, like the backyard wrestling hero out there, the biggest fan, Zilla. Zilla enjoys watching everybody's product. So that's cool. But then you got people like you were saying, Tom, whatever, what Defone, is that what it is?
Cifone.
Yeah.
Cifone.
Or even if you go look on some of our videos now with Kron's son, Joe Stone, like you go look at some of the comments and it's this one fucking weirdo who comments on a bunch of people's videos, and it's like, oh, he'll like tag a certain timestamp that he likes, like, oh, Hot Boy at 3:25, so strong, smacked his
Yep.
chest or something.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
I get those comments. They're either from like bot accounts or like, just like weird name accounts because they probably get
Some
fucking
weirdo
banned
in
every fucking
Pakistan,
day.
bro. Like, get out of here.
So,
God.
so back onto like a brighter note. What do you
Yeah.
think is your best match in your entire career at this point?
Well, let's see. I mean, like I said, I never think I'm perfect, so always trying to get better and do better. Um, it's either between the me and Delta match or my most recent like match of the year. Thanks for voting, everyone. Me and C Money from Weekend Warfare of last year. Um, I like me and Delta for like the spectacle of it because Jack Delta. I know you said star power isn't a thing in backyard wrestling, but if there is someone that's close to it, it would be him because of how much traveling he's done. He's been to ESW. Everyone seems to know his name. Um, so that felt nice. Also, it was a pretty decent match. I still go back and watch it, but there's also a lot of things I would change about it. Um, Me versus C Money, we focus more on the whole technical aspect and selling and psychology. Uh, I don't know. I kind of like that one as well. There's things I would change about it. Maybe my favorite match just it's a cliche, but it hasn't happened yet. I
I
don't
see what
know.
you did there. I see what you did there. So then on the flip side, what would be the match that like what would be the match of yours that you would show someone who wants to get into like you or like ROEW? What is the one
It's
match where like
it's
if you
usually
find a
the
new
weekend
fan?
warfare match with C Money. It's usually that one because it shows off more of like chain wrestling, and I'm learning more as I go to. Like me and Jack Delta's chain wrestling was pretty good, but then I started learning more things that I could add, and it's like, okay, well we did that and it looked okay, but it didn't make sense. So then with me versus C Money, I was trying to make everything make sense because like back when I was a heel, I was trying to attack the arm, so my chain wrestling would be trying to go after the arm. And in that match, he knew my style and he'd be reversing everything. And he'd have my arm. So then when I did an Imanari roll, which if you don't know what that is, it's like I basically shoulder roll, grab his heel, and then I got him like hopping around. He's off balance. And then when he reaches for his leg, then I finally grab his arm because I got him. So that was probably one of my favorite things about that match. And then him selling his arm, working on his arm. Just love arm shit. Yeah, normally that match because it's just the technical shit, the selling. The finish was all right. It was a little back and forth stuff. I changed some things still, but it's that.
Hey man, you can't dwell on what could have been. Or I mean, because hey, like I said, you're always
That's how
learning.
I do though. Like I want to be so great, and it's like, I could have been better.
So talking about matches, what do you think is? So we've talked about your worst bump, like on the trampoline, on the ground. What do you think is your worst bump that you've taken in the ring?
In the ring, uh, let's see. I mean, I've taken like 4 Delta drivers. One of them was a little close to whiplash. I think I was pretty tired, so maybe that. The very first one I took from him, I was doing my championship celebration. That one was perfect. I took it perfectly, landed perfectly, looked great, and then I think I took like 3 more. And at that point, it's like, what the fuck happened, Chris? Sorry, CJ? Chris? It's fine. My name's Chris. Deal with it. God.
So one thing I like hearing about is like names, because like names is such like a big part of like who you are. Because like before people see your logo or like even possibly even see your match. Like they read, right? So where did you create the name CJ Black? Because like names are
Let
such a
me take
big
it.
part. Like your name is
Yeah.
like a real big part of your future in wrestling. So where did you come up with CJ Black?
So let me take it back a little before I decided on that. So like I said, me and my brother, before we even started backyard wrestling, we used to wrestle around when he was like 5. I had an old VHS tape I'd always watch. It was Over the Edge 98, and that's basically I had that in Survivor Series 97. I'd watch those back and forth. In Survivor Series 98, there was this little segment during the pay-per-view of Jerry the King Lawler and a guy, it was Mad Dog? Yeah, Mad Dog something. And then there was another guy from like the Milwaukee area named the Crusher. So when we would wrestle, I would be the King. It was just my name, just the King. And then he was the Crusher. So when we first started wrestling, those were our names, the King and the Crusher. Even in ROWE, the King and the Crusher. A couple years later, I was still the King. 2013, I think I changed it to Chris Black. Like I used my real name, something like that. I was just like, fuck it, my name's cool enough. And then I was starting to think, like, if I do ever go pro, imagine them chanting Chris Black. That sounds so stupid. I was like, use your initials, CJ Black, CJ Black. So I was like, there you go. That's the one.
Interesting using your real name. Bold. I mean, because a lot of people, especially in this community, they want to keep their personal life like private.
Yeah, I almost wish I would now because I can't go back and delete any videos or anything. So if you go look up, Chris Black wrestling, it might pop up. I don't know. But I can't get in my old channel, so it's like those videos are there forever. I can't delete them. Some of it's really shitty.
Because I mean,
It's what it
shit,
is.
some of these motherfuckers in this community, you really don't want them knowing your personal life and your personal shit.
It is what it is.
Because I
Come
mean,
find me. I exercise my Second Amendment rights, so stop. Not on the internet. Not on the internet.
no, I mean for me, like when like my first wrestling name like ever, like when I first started FBW, it was actually Razor Rage. And like I know that's now like my gimmick, but like back then that was like just my full on name, the Razor
It's a cool
Rage.
name.
I
A
mean,
cool name.
the problem with that was like so when we started like filming like FBW, because like for the first 2 years we didn't film because we didn't have no camera and shit. So like when we first started recording and like making home DVDs and then like uploading to YouTube, I kind of like thought to myself, I don't look like no goddamn Razor Rage. Like I'm a fucking 50-pound white kid. I ain't no goddamn Razor Rage. So I was like, I gotta fucking scratch that. I gotta change my name. And I couldn't figure out a name. I'm not gonna lie. Like I couldn't fucking I don't know. Like I don't know what the fuck I look like. And then I ended up stumbling into ALM. I just used my initials ALM. And now I'm Anthony
Yeah.
Aries. Like and like now I use the Razor Rage as like a nickname because like I think I can fit it more. But like, dude, like for me when I chose my name, I wanted a name with like a story behind it. I didn't want to just be like, oh yeah, I chose this name because oh yeah, it's just my initials. Like now, like I
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
my daughter's zodiac sign. That's like where the Aries is, because like my daughter, she's an Aries. So like now it has meaning and it has story behind it.
And
Total.
you could tell her that someday too.
I'm not related to my fucking uncle Austin Aries or whatever.
Damn it. That's the only reason I was doing this. I'm actually going to sign off now.
He said, I don't even think Austin Aries is relevant. I'm the fucking Aries of wrestling.
Whoa. Yeah, the whole initials thing, I feel like way too many people do that. Even back in RVW's first run, when my cousin wrestled for us for like a month or two, like he used his initials because I was like, well, what do you want your name to be? I don't know. And we used to call him like Little Danny Black. I was like, screw it, LDB. There you go.
No, so the only reason why I stumbled upon my initials was because ESW, MOD, the Master of Disaster, he was my favorite backyard wrestler. And growing up, I thought MOD was just his initials. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be like him. I'm going to do my initials. Turns out it wasn't his initials. It was initials for something way cooler. So, like, that's.
I think I've only seen one thing of him too, because like I said, I stumbled upon them and it was like their farewell show. And then I think he had some match, which I forget what kid it was, but it was like there was a playpen and it had barbed wire in it,
Yep.
and then he got like, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. There you go. That was like the first thing I've ever seen of
Dude,
him. Maybe even the only.
See, like the thing with ESWs, they resonated with me because they like, yeah, they had a trampoline, but like they just wrestled on the ground. Like all their matches was mostly on the ground. Like they rarely used the trampoline. So like me, I was
And
like,
they were
fuck.
taking real ass bumps too, and that shit hurts.
Yeah, I know. Like I remember I watched their like doc about like their whole history. What they would do is they would like wet the ground, right? Because like it was just like dirt. So like they would wet the ground to like soften it or whatever. But like the ground still fucking sucks. It hurts.
Yeah.
I've
There's
taken
no
like a full
give.
on, yeah, like I've taken a full on slam before on the ground, and it took the whole wind out of me. I remember I told it was my buddy Colin the Beast. This was like 2019. I was like, "Yo, hit me with a DDT," and yank, he just fucking picked me up and suplexed me. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh,
Yeah, that's
see, I
that's.
took a couple of those, but eh,
Oh, it sucks. It's miserable, dude. And fucking down here, we got these things called sand spurs. You know what a sand spur is?
I don't.
So like,
Is it like a little mound of dirt?
no, so a sand spur are these like little fucking like spiky things that grow in like the weeds. They just fucking
Oh, yeah. I
it's like
think
a
we got
fucking
those.
it's like a fucking like landmine, just a fucking like Earth's version of
Yeah.
like a fucking free thumbtack in your
Yeah.
grass. I
Yeah,
I
no
took
thanks.
I remember we did a match where it was a death match. It was me versus Eric Danger, and we taped a whole bunch of sand spurs to a bat, and I got fucking hit with it like 3 times.
Ugh.
And then my buddy the following year was like, "Fuck that! I want to top that." So we did this table spot where he was on top of a ladder, and I pushed him off, and he went through a table covered in sand spurs.
Ouch. No thanks.
Yeah, and I have the
There-
video of us pulling them all out of his back. It was miserable because like what happens is like when they go in you, they have the chance of like breaking, and then you get splinters. So like not only is it going in, when it comes out, then you got a splinter. So then you got to go. Yeah, it was
Yes.
miserable. Never again. I remember. I remember the dumb idea. Honestly, dumb fucking idea. I
Yeah.
was wrestling my wife. It was Battle Yard. Cool name, by the way, for like a fucking backyard wrestling. Battle Yard. So it was Battle Yard 2021. It was me versus my wife, last man standing match. This was when I just became the messiah of the yard, and I had a little fucking cross, and I put sand spurs on it, and I was like, "Yo, hear me out. What if you fucking took the cross and you fucking whacked it over my head?" Like maybe like around my cheek area, so like I don't get it in my eye, or like just the top of my skull, and you just whacked me with it. And no, she refused to do it. I was kind of bummed out. But now looking
Oh,
back on
good
it,
job.
now looking back on it, like good fucking idea. I did not go, that we didn't go through that, dude.
So, hold on. Speaking of bumps, like we were talking about, how bad a ring feels. When we traveled to Alabama to do that crossover with AWL, um, he rented out I don't know if you want to call it like an arena, but there's a promoter there that has a wrestling school. He uses half of an old movie theater as his training facility. The other half is like a little arena. And their ring, holy shit, that ring felt like a bounce house basically. He had the pro padding and then also like a thick wrestling mat on top of that too. So it was like I want that feeling. If I'm bumping in a ring, I want that ring, please.
I mean,
I want to go back.
can't you
Honestly.
add padding to the ring you have now? Like, can't you just buy a thicker
Yeah, but
pad?
it is expensive. It is expensive though.
I know for like shit for like the low boy or like the backyard style that you have, that's still like fucking like $3,000. And then on
Yeah, I
top of
think we.
that, at least from like the Monster Ring site, or whatever, it doesn't come with the lumber. So then you got to fucking
Yeah,
pay a
yeah,
couple. Then you got to pay a couple extra hundred for fucking the
right.
wood.
Yeah, the ring I believe was 3 grand. Um, I think they're stationed or whatever in Kentucky. So either we drive down there and get it or get it shipped. So that was $500 to get it shipped. And then the wood was also about 500. So yeah, about 4 grand altogether. And it's fucking crazy. All for a hobby.
Yeah, and I mean, shit, dude. My fucking wife hates this shit. I'm not gonna lie, and dude, I get bullied for this shit so much wrestling on a trampoline. So how is your family supportive of ROEW?
So, with my dad always liking wrestling, I feel like we were always trying to impress him. He never really ever paid attention to us wrestling, which is weird. Like even now, like when we're actually having some sort of success where people think we're okay, like he still doesn't really watch, and it's like, what the fuck? Where's my daddy's love? Where's my love and attention, Dad? But anyways,
This motherfucker was
he
watching wrestling as you were fucking being born. He doesn't. He's like, nah.
right?
He's like, nah, I can't watch you now.
Um, he actually used to wrestle with us a little bit though, back in like 2009. It's kind of funny to go back and look because it's like this grown ass adult throwing around my little brother that was like probably 4 feet tall at the time. um, but I don't know, like I guess he was supportive. Like he'd still get mad because he'd come outside and see the mess we made, and it's like, my ladder, that's my ladder. But it's
Yo,
like,
that's
no,
my
it was
dad, dude. I
fun.
remember my dad. He complained. Dude, my dad hated when we used his ladder. He's like, I remember
Yeah.
one time he's like, you fucking bent my ladder. I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
but listen, that ladder match was a 5-star fucking classic.
Oh yeah. My mom always supported us though for sure. Um, I don't know. She I think she wanted me to go to wrestling school and then just like, it didn't pan out. So it's like, well, you got to go to college. So I tried a little college. Not my thing.
Oh, I dropped
Not
out
my
of college twice. I'll admit that
Yeah, I
here,
did
no
like,
fucking shame.
I think I did half a semester. I remember doing a public speaking class, which I was shy at the time because believe it or not, I'm introverted. Um, but I was, trying to fake it till I make it. So I
Dude,
was
I'm
killing
fucking
it in that
introverted.
place.
I'm not gonna cap, dude. Like the real reason why these podcasts of mine keep failing is because I'm so goddamn introverted to talk to people. Like I can talk to you over text or like video call and hide behind the fucking camera
Oh
being
yeah.
off. But like this fucking like it takes a bit for me to like build up the courage. Like I remember like before this, I was doing an episode with Napalm, and fuck, dude, I was nervous because I've never talked to this fucking dude. Now I gotta fucking stare at him and fucking it's just, man. But for
That's
like
how I
my
am with my
college,
plans too. Like
dude,
I'll
for
make plans and then it's like the day comes, I'm like, ugh, I don't know anymore.
dude, I'm the one to
Yes.
just stay home and just do my own thing. Like I can sit home and not hang out with anybody and just watch wrestling. I'll be content. That's my perfect day.
I'm fine with that too. That's the only time I really do anything with anybody is when we meet for wrestling. And
Yeah, to
that's
be honest, I don't hang out with anybody really unless like we hang out like when we hang out is like after wrestling. Then we can like hang out. That's not wrestling related. But shit for college, oof. Like I think I attempted my classes for like a week, and then my girl, like we went to college together, so like she was like, okay, well I still want to try college. So what I would do is I'd take her to her class, I'd go to the library, edit FBW shit or like watch wrestling. I'd meet up with her again, take her to the next class, and then go back. And nope, nobody said nothing. They were like, man, why the fuck is this dude in the library all fucking day? Like, what is he doing?
damn.
You know? But
And then also I don't want to like call him out or nothing like that, but Delta, he became really close. He doesn't think I guess we're friends. I guess we're bonds. But he's kind of the same as me, honestly. Like he probably can relate to me the most out of anybody because it's like he also likes doing his own thing and just like not being bothered. And I'm about that, but like now being a dad and have everybody like talking to me or to like go through me to get to my the ring and to be a part of this. Like now I have to branch out and do shit like this. But yeah, that's why I became pretty close to him though. Like I enjoy hanging out with him when we do hang out. Shout out Delta. Second, maybe first best match in my career. I don't
dude, I remember like growing up, my parents and they really never really put much thought into FBW. Like in the beginning, like my dad, like he has like his own band and like he does like music shit and has like DJ equipment. So in the beginning, like he lended us his camera like a couple times, and then like he would lend us like his speaker or like microphones, and then quickly after that, it was just like they just can give two fucks what I was doing. So then I had to get my own equipment, and they were just chilling, watching TV as like, me, Chris, Eric, whoever was in FPW, just casually trying to murk each other in the backyard, just.
nice.
But
Man.
so, this wouldn't be a backyard wrestling podcast if this question isn't asked, because like everybody has to ask this question. So,
Oh god, is it the dream match question?
yep. What are some
Oh
dream
god.
matches that you like, if anything and everything is possible, taking out like realistic whatever? What are some dream matches, and like what are some people that you want to get in the ring with?
So this is the part where everybody wants to hear their name. They all want to feel special. Let's see. I mean, there's some people that like I'm cool with, where it's like it would be cool to like show them the ropes, but I feel like I'd piss a lot of people off because everyone just they want to go out there and just backyard wrestle and do their thing. But I like producing my matches and even producing other people's matches, so there's like some cool sequences and shit, and everything's safe. So first of all, it would have to be someone that's down to pay attention and learn. Um, but there's like a lot of people I haven't wrestled yet that come here. Like even me and Justin Parsley, I think we'd have a good match. Me and Matthew Forsaken, I think we'd have a good match. As far as people that don't come here, uh, there is a dude that I don't know if he still wrestles with AWL, my cousin's ADT's Fed. He used to go by Cobalt. I think now it's CT Matlock. Uh, Great little high flying skinny kid. We could do so many things. Like I guess I'd add him to that. But he's also I think he's indie now. So does that count? I don't know. Um, Austin G would probably be one. Which I don't know if I want to make it known. May or may not ever happen. I don't know. Pay attention this year. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so basically what you're trying to say is confirmed ESW and REW partnership.
I don't want to say yes or no. I don't want to say yes or no. Maybe, but I think that could be a hell of a match. Uh, I don't know, man. Throw out some names for me, because like I said,
How do you feel about
I don't
Anthony
watch
Aries?
too much backyard wrestling at this point, unless somebody sends me their stuff. But
All right, so what do you feel
there
about
is some
Anthony
people
Aries?
where it's like,
This is the point where you put me, put me over on my podcast.
I can't do it. You bounce around on a trampoline for fun. I can't. Stop. Um. Ironically, last summer when I think we all moved the ring outside. Um, my trampoline's out there, so a couple of us got on a trampoline and we're like, screw it, let's film a match. We didn't. We should have. I think it was Kron, Dark Kron, me, C Money, Jack Delta. It was fun. We
One
should have
day,
filmed it.
one day, I think I'll make it to like for me like I don't think being pro is like really like a realistic goal anymore. But like I feel like if I can at least have one match in a ring, like that's it. That's all I need. I just want one match. You know.
Yeah, I got a lot of people that always message me about wanting to come here, and it's cool. But I let them all know, like, we're gonna do some training. Like, I don't know everything, but I do know some shit. Like, I got indie guys, like, pulling back the curtain. I got indie guys that come here now, and they'll train with us. And they're even surprised about how much shit I know. And it's like, boost my ego again. Why don't you? But it's cool. It's all fun. But yeah, if you come here, you're going to have to train with us. You're going to have to try to do things, the right way, work the left side. Even Big Man Cam didn't want to do that. He's like, I can't suplex with my left side. I can't do it. I'm like, yes, you can, you big son of a bitch. And then he did it. He did it. Yep.
Look at that inspiration by CJ Black, 2025 or
What I
2024.
do.
I'm guessing that happened last year. So
Yes. Haven't seen him in a while. He's I don't know if I can even give that away. I think he's starting to do indie stuff. So
so so what are some goals that you still want to accomplish in backyard wrestling?
my main goal is to get the REW channel monetized so we could, start paying for different things that we need. And also, if I can start, paying the boys a little bit, cool.
No, I feel that's why I'm so strict on like the professionalism in FBW and like the music we use and like how the content looks. Like I want to make money off of YouTube, and I'm close. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm about to hit the 1,000 subscriber landmark, right? And then I just got to get some like watch time views up, and then it's just like money, 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 money. you
That's
know,
where we're at too. We got the subs now. Now we need the watch hours. It's like, ah,
you know what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the shorts, the short views. That I feel like from my experience that's more easier to build than the watch time hours.
so you got to get 3 million views, I think it was, though.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
like,
so
dude,
much.
I've uploaded a couple fucking YouTube shorts, and already a couple of them already have like fucking 5, 6, 7,000 views. You know,
See, those are hit and miss too, because like I'll upload some and it's like, cool, this one got 11,000 views.
then another
And then
one
I
has like a
upload
couple
one.
hundred.
Yeah, or even like 15 views, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
And
but
the
like,
one with
man,
15 views is the one that needs to take off because it's good. It's a good
yeah,
one.
because I've been posting shorts and I've experienced that. But like, dude, the watch time hours is so fucking hard to build up because like you need people to sit there and watch the whole fucking video, and like you know how hard that is because like people's attention
Yeah.
spans are so low. That's why they got YouTube Shorts being a fucking thing, you know?
Well, you know what? And that goes back to something Mr. Jack Delta told me when I first met him too. It's like backyard wrestling, like a lot of people don't even like it, don't even know of it. But if they happen to stumble upon you on YouTube and this is their, first time and maybe only time ever watching backyard wrestling, like you want to give them something that, draws them back in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I want everybody else that comes here to get on board with, producing their matches, running through shit. So it's not just like two untrained guys going out there and thinking they know how to do a move and then it looks like shit or they get hurt.
You know,
So,
and I'm
you
like
know,
that for FBW. Like I know like I'm on a trampoline and like, but like me, like I still like I pride myself on producing good quality content. Like all these guys, we have training sessions, you know, fucking Sam Reeves versus Ryan Blade, End Games 2024. I was on music, so like I wasn't recording. I was on music, sitting over out there, and at one point, a couple times, in the match, from the fucking music, desk, I was like producing and giving them signals for shit to do. Like I remember one point, they were like, they were doing a pile driver spot, and like I was like, you know what would really get this thing going is if fucking Reeves just hit it a couple more times. So I was like, do it again, do it again. And then I remember at one point they tried ending the match.
wait,
And
wait. Did he kick out of that? I swear to God, I will leave this. I will leave this podcast.
uh,
No,
I don't remember.
no.
No, I don't remember if he kicked out or if there was a pin spot because it was towards the end of the match. And I remember they tried ending the match early, and I was like, no, 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 keep going. This shit's cooking. Keep going, keep going. Like I remember like I filmed backyard wrestling on a 2DS at one point, and this was like early
Jeez.
FBW. Like this was like 2014. And I would cover the mic on the 2DS, and I would tell them spots to do. Like I don't know. Like I'm the most like I guess I'm the most like person with the most knowledge in FBW. Like I study this shit probably more than anybody, and like I really have a mind for like the content and the shit I want, and I think would be good.
Yeah, I need someone like that here that can do the production for me. So if you want to move here, take over the music and the entrances, maybe even the filming, have at it.
Dude, like
Because
for me, like I fucking oh my god, dude. I know like people shit on the fake crowd noise that I put in, but I think that just helps kill the awkwardness of like silence.
see, that's why I do commentary. Because like, yeah, it's the garage is so quiet. Like, also, wrestling, you're communicating in the garage. Like, there's no outside noises that are covering up the sound.
And like even with just commentary and no crowd, I mean, we all saw how the pandemic era of WWE was. It's awkward. It's just it's just awkward. So I add the crowd noise, one to like kill out any kids screaming in the background or like people talking, and then I don't know like if commentary slows down or whatever or the match slows down, there's just crowd noise. It just keeps and plus like I'm Photoshop certified, so like I know actually how to like edit logos and like make watermarks look good. I put way
Nice.
too much thought about I put too much fucking thought and, effort into this shit. I'm like fucking dude, I've been up
Well,
since
see,
like
pulling back the
5 a.m.
curtain, this is why it gets kind of stressful too. And I even sometimes it's like, do I want to do this anymore? Because I'm doing the editing, I'm doing the commentary, I'm doing, usually doing the booking, I'm doing the training everyone, new guys, guys that have still been in here for a while, training them, wrestling. It's just it gets on my nerves
You know,
sometimes. Like it becomes too much.
I'm the same fucking way. I do all the editing, I do all the fucking uploading, I run all the social media accounts, and like it's not that like my guys don't want to help. It's just a matter of like if something gets fucked up, I'd rather be mad at myself than taking out my anger on all of these fuckers. And on top of that, if it's not done to the standard I want, then I got to go redo it and then do it myself and waste time on an upload, waste time on working on something else, you know? So
Yep.
like I'd
I
rather
have a
just do it
vision.
myself.
Vision.
Yep. So like shit, like I know like my new guy Draven Solus, he knows a person who like does like photo editing and shit. He's like, oh yeah, he wants to get involved, but it's like, but if he doesn't do an edit like I want it or like not good enough, then now I gotta wait even longer, or like then I gotta do it myself. If I could have just done it myself in the first place, I'm Photoshop certified, like legit. Like I went to school for that bullshit.
That's how it is with commentary for me, because like I would love to have someone else do commentary because I hate doing it. But it's like, are they gonna say, what I need them to stay or say, tell
Same,
the story I want
yep.
them to tell,
Same thing
speak
with
when I
me.
need them to speak to cover up things, like
Dude,
I don't know.
exactly. I hate doing commentary. I did commentary before I did this. Like I'm doing this. Fucking shit, dude. I hate commentary. It's because like I don't know. I overthink commentary when I'm doing it. So then I fuck up. And I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta go restart and watch the whole
Yeah,
match
that's
again.
that's what I do.
And like
Well,
the
I don't do
thing,
that, but
but like, and the thing is like for like my commentary personally, I like it when commentary explains like little like story bits, and like they explain the story, they explain what's happening and why. Not just you know, oh, there's a suplex, oh, now a super kick. Like I like because like maybe what if it's a new viewer's first time watching your shit? I want them to at least like understand the story of what's going on. So if they don't want to go back and rewatch, well, this is what's happening now and why. Okay, well now I don't gotta watch the build because now I'm hooked. Now I understand everything. Like and
right.
nobody understands the history of like your own Fed than like you. Like for me, nobody knows the lore of FBW more than me. You know.
I'm my own biggest fan. Hold on. Let me talk about this one last thing real quick before I have to get rolling. Um, since we're talking about crowd noise and such. So, I basically always been a backyard guy in my own backyard. Never traveled, never done like a live thing. So I went to IMF last year, and they started as a backyard thing too, and then they got their LLC. They started renting out a community center, and then they started getting a crowd in there. And I don't think I'm out of bounds when I say they're big CJ Black fans. Thanks, guys. So they invited me, and they wanted me, and it was me and C Money, and we kicked off the show. Both of us, it was our first time in front of a crowd. A little nervous for sure, but dude, once that bell rang, and then it was like, all right, we know what's going on. We're staring at each other across the ring. It was like tunnel vision,
Mm-hmm.
and just everything around you from each side of the ring. You just hear all this noise. It's like holy shit! Like it felt like a drug, honestly. Like it was addicting.
No, I feel that.
So I might be going back. I might go back maybe soon, maybe next month. I don't know.
So
But all right, so let me spoil it. I'm probably going back next month. I say probably because if anything comes up, I don't want to be a liar and be like, "Well, you said you were definitely coming." I want to go, and I'm going to do it differently this time because something in my life that's always held me back is, fear of change, fear of doing things alone sometimes.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm planning on traveling there by myself and just experiencing life by myself, like the first time ever, going into the unknown, just me. So it should
So
be fun.
So to wrap things off here on this podcast, shit, we've been talking for like over an hour and a half, and it's honestly been a fucking blast. I have the utmost respect for you, and like we talk a lot. I feel comfortable calling you a friend and a nice a nice opinion that I can hear. But to wrap off these podcasts, I like to ask this question just to really reflect, because I think it's good to like really reflect about your whole journey, where you've came from, where you are now, and just come to terms about everything. So what are some things that you are grateful for from your backyard wrestling journey?
I would say it would have to be most recently, like having everybody willing to pitch in and like come here, like that. It means a lot that like people actually reach out and want to come to us because it's telling me we're doing something right. Um, but it wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for we'll start with Jason, stepping up when Hillbilly Tilly didn't want to show up. And then, he let me kick his ass that first match, like beat the shit out of him. So thank you, Jason. And then we wouldn't still be continuing if it wasn't for, Jack Delta coming here. And then once he came here, it was like, oh, what's ROVW? And then other people wanted to come here. And I'd have to shout out my brother too, because if he ends up watching this, he'd be like, "What the fuck, asshole?" So it was always me and him wrestling. When it was just me and Jason that first match, he was like, I don't know. And then once he saw it and he started seeing the reaction, he's like, you know what? I'll come back. So shout out to him too, because sorry, Jason, I think maybe C Money should have been Wrestler of the Year last year. I'm just saying. But yeah, he's all about RWW. Uh, so just having everybody on board and the same vision, wanting to do things my way / the right way, whatever. But yeah, so shout out everybody for being on board with me, I guess.
All right, respectable. Like I said, man, it's been an absolute honor. Thank you for actually coming on to this podcast. I know you don't do a lot of these outside of Sports Wire, and like, I know you're not the man to like really pull back the curtain with your craft. So, it's been an absolute honor knowing the man behind, your gimmick and actually like have the opportunities to chat it up with you, behind the scenes.
Well,
Like
see,
off air.
now that I'm not a heel, now I can be more open, so it's fine. I don't
Yes,
have to be
sir.
an asshole 24/7.
But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Sports Wire Radio Podcast, live on Spotify, on YouTube, sponsored by Sports Wire Radio and the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. And this has been another episode. Guys, until next one, thank you guys for listening.